Good day, everyone. This is Scott here from Nigon's Electronic Creations, and I'm very pleased to bring you the Igniter 2 I2-R2 release. I've got many improvements, many new features, and something really special that I want to show you. So without further ado, let's get right into this. So today, for the I2-R2 release, I want to go over some improvements to the existing firmware that I did to some existing features. Then I want to talk about the new alternating class feature, the new Saber demo app, and finally some awesome improvements to the LED driver. Alright, so first, let's go into some improvements. So the first improvement is in the low power disable. So this is an existing feature where I allow you to set from 1 to 255 the number of seconds that you want before the motion and the accent LEDs will go off. Well, for those accent aficionados who never want their accent LEDs to go off, they want to be able to turn this feature off. So now, what I've done is allowed you to set the low power setting in the config editor to 0. And this actually means just don't do low power at all. Always leave the accents, always leave the motion on. Great for all those people that want to have want to have all their accent LEDs going all the time. All right, with that, let's go on to the next feature, which is the activation configuration. So this is going to allow many unique ways to turn on the Saber. So some of you may have gotten this effect, where in the previous i2, you twist the Saber accidentally right after you pull the kill key and it comes on in your face. So I wanted to prevent that in this release. And the way I wanted to prevent that is to allow you to choose how to turn on the Saber. But I also want you to be able to have configurability, because here at Nigon's Electronic Creations, we believe our users should be able to set the experience they want with their Saber. So the existing feature to just twist the Saber on every font needed to be addressed. So now I've given you 4 ways that you can turn on your Saber. The first being the main button only. This is just the default, which is always just you press the button to turn it on. That's the only way to turn it on. The second way you can choose is to either twist the Saber or to push the main button. So this was the previous way that you always had to have with the original i2 release. Now there's a third new way, which is you can do a slash, which is a hard swing to turn it on, or the button. And fourth is you can actually choose any of those. So twist, slash, or button will turn it on. What's great about these 4 settings? These are per font settings, which means every font can have a different one of these choices selected. And in the default files, I now have the first font set for only the main button and the rest of the font set for something else. And this will allow you to not get that effect we showed earlier with the light blinding you. Of course, if you want to have this, you can turn it on the first font. So with that, let's go over a cool demo showing the different activations. Wow, that was really cool. So let's see some more new features in I2-R2. The next feature is the color editor amber support. This is for those using an RGBA, RGBW, or if you just have a normal RGB but have a motor hooked up as well. And so what this does is allows the onboard color editor, it allows you to twist when you're going through the menu to go from red, green, blue, now to amber. So that way you can adjust the setting for your fourth dye, which is your amber or white dye, or you can even adjust this for your motor. And for those of you still just using the plain RGB, no motors, no anything else, you can set C4% to 0 and you'll still have the legacy behavior where in the color editor app, it'll only go through red, green, blue, red, green, blue. All right, the next improvement, Saber FX idle mode. These are for those that love those FX quotes and want more of them. Well, here's your feature. In this feature, you can have the quotes or this ambient sound effects in the idle mode as well, not just when the Saber's running. So there's a separate percent value that in the config, FX idle percent or FX ID PER, and this allows you to set between 0 to 100. And what that means is 100% is always on. So the effect will happen every 2 seconds, 100% of the time. And if you set it to 0, it means it will never happen during the menu. And you set it to something between, it'll be randomly chosen. Now, it's important to note that SaberFX must be enabled for the font that is you have this on. And furthermore, what's great is this means you can, once you enable SaberFX, you can set this to 0 and set the other two on, so you'll get the legacy behavior of FX sounds only when doing the motions or when it's humming. Or you can do the reverse and only have sounds at idle, or you can do some combination. It's the beauty of configuration. Now here's the new config editor, and this shows how to do the editing for your app. So for instance, here's where you first have to enable the SaberFX modes. This has been there the whole time, but I just want to point out you do have to have this enabled. And then once you've enabled that, here's the new slider that you can adjust for the FX idle percent. So that way you can adjust this to something non-zero and you'll get the FX sounds during the idle when the Saber's not running for the font that you have this enabled for. All right, with that, let's go over a demo showing the new FX idle modes. Wow, that was a great demo. So let's go right now into the smash sounds. And this is a new sound bank, completely new set of sounds you can use. Why would I want to add this new sound bank? Well, up until now, the Saber world has had the two extremes for the motion sounds. There's been the old swing and a miss sound, where you're swinging the Saber, but it's not hitting a single thing. Then there's the opposite extreme, where a Saber's hitting something it totally cannot go through. Normally another Saber, but it could be the types of metal the Saber can't cut through. But there's no third choice. And the third choice is shown in all the movies, or at least all the prequel movies, and is shown in the comic books, and it's shown in the TV shows. And this is where the Saber goes through something, and the object that it goes through gets destroyed. So that itself will make a sound, and the Saber is still swinging. And so that's what the smash sound is. It's a new sound that you can use to swing through an object, and that object gets destroyed. So you can trigger this new sound by holding the aux button and swinging the Saber. That'll play a new sound from the font_n/SMSH bank. So for instance, for font 1, you'll have font1/SMSH/ And then all your files can go there from SMSH01, 02, all the way up to 99. You can have for this type of sound font. And because I know this is a new feature that none of the sound designers knew about until now. So for now, if you hold the aux and do this, and your sound font doesn't have these sounds, it'll play a normal swing. But as you add these fonts in, then you'll be able to hold it and do it. With that, let's go over a demo of this awesome new feature.